The American aviation ledger is officially in the red zone. The Department of Homeland Security shutdown has hit its 36th day, matching the record-breaking freeze of last year. While travelers face skyrocketing wait times at Hartsfield-Jackson and beyond, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer attempted an arcane procedural gambit to force a vote to pay TSA workers in isolation. As a CPA, I track liquidity. When you try to fund one department while the parent company remains bankrupt, you aren't fixing the books. You're just moving the deck chairs on a sinking ship. As a CPA, I look at negotiation leverage. Schumer accused Republicans of holding workers and travelers hostage, but Senate Majority Leader John Thune countered that Democrats have blocked a full reopening of the agency 5 times. From a forensic perspective, we are seeing a strategic impasse. Democrats are demanding stringent reforms to ICE before they sign off on a full budget. Republicans, meanwhile, are holding the line on a comprehensive deal that includes both airport security and border enforcement. In accounting terms, the contract for national security is being held up by a dispute over the terms and conditions of immigration operations. I'm Camilo Motato, reporting for THU News. As a certified public accountant, I specialize in budgetary solvency. In an audit, if a client stops paying their frontline staff while the executive board continues to debate, it signals a total breakdown of internal controls. Today, we are auditing the DHS default. We are seeing a minority leader using procedural tactics to shift the narrative, while the majority leader warns that the serenity of the Democratic position is about to be shattered by the reality of airport chaos. The most critical audit finding is the compromise gap. On Friday night, the White House and Senate Republicans made a new offer involving immigration operation reforms. As a professional, I audit good faith participation. If the Democrats refuse this latest settlement offer, they risk being held accountable for the shutdown as lawmakers prepare to leave Washington for a 2-week break. With the record-breaking mark of 36 days already hit, the operational risk to the country is no longer a theoretical line item. It is a physical reality at every TSA checkpoint in America. The cash flow for thousands of federal agents has been cut off, and the cost of recovery for the aviation industry grows higher with every hour the gates remain stalled. In any major operational failure, the CEO often looks for a substitute asset. President Trump has threatened a massive technical workaround, sending ICE agents to conduct airport security if Democrats don't sign the DHS funding deal. As a CPA, I track resource allocation. Moving agents from border enforcement to airport checkpoints is a robbing Peter to pay Paul strategy. It doesn't solve the liquidity crisis of the DHS. It simply reassigns labor costs from one struggling department to another. From a forensic perspective, this is a stress test on the entire Homeland Security infrastructure. If ICE agents are pulled to the airports, the security deficit at the border grows. It is a high-stakes management gamble designed to force the Democrats' hand by showing that the parent company is willing to liquidate its core mission to keep the aviation subsidiary alive. The most alarming audit finding is the timeline default. Lawmakers are scheduled to leave Washington for a 2-week break at the end of next week. As a professional, I audit urgency and oversight. Senate Majority Leader John Thune warned it would be very hard to explain leaving town without funding the DHS. In the private sector, if a board of directors went on vacation while the company's security division was in total payroll default, the shareholder backlash would be immediate. This 2-week window is the final closing period to prevent the shutdown from becoming a permanent impairment to national travel. There is a massive valuation gap in how this crisis is being perceived. Schumer and the Democratic leadership have described their position as serene, but Thune argues that the people sitting in 3-hour airport lines don't see it that way. From a forensic perspective, serenity is a non-performing asset when the real-time data shows thousands of TSA agents working without pay. The operational risk of a mass sick-out or a total retention collapse grows with every day the check remains unsigned. The market sentiment of the American traveler is currently in a state of negative equity, and the management team in D.C. is failing to provide a recovery plan that the public can trust. The final audit of March 21, 2026 shows a bankruptcy of national security management. The 36-day mark is a symptom of a much deeper systemic failure. As a CPA, my verdict is that we are witnessing a governance default. You cannot manage the world's most complex security agency through arcane tactics and 2-week vacations. The refusal to separate payroll from policy has created a material weakness in the safety of the American people. The accounts payable for the TSA is the debt that is finally coming due, and the cost will be paid in the currency of lost time and national security. But I want to hear from you. Is Trump's plan to send ICE to the airports a brilliant workaround or a dangerous diversion of resources? Should Congress be allowed to leave for a 2-week break while the DHS is in default? Let me know in the comments. Your perspective is the only audit that matters when the lines get long and the management leaves the building. I'm Camilo Motato, certified public accountant for THU News. Subscribe to stay ahead of the numbers behind the headlines. Stay safe.